Should you play Resident Evil 0? It depends. It depends on how much you like classic Resident Evil. And what I mean by that is, do you like playing original Resident Evil like 1, 2, and 3, Code Veronica, and not like games like RE4 and 5, which are very action based? I'm talking about the classic Resident Evil games that have tank controls. If you're really not into Resident Evil and kind of just play the modern remakes from time to time and not like a super fan of the game, I don't think you would have much fun in Resident Evil 0. But if you enjoyed the 2002 remake of Resident Evil 1, you should play Resident Evil 0. You'll probably play through most of the entire game, but I can't guarantee that you'll like it solely based on the fact that it's similar to the 2002 remake. This video is going to be like a short review of the game. Resident Evil 0 has some glaring flaws, but it does do some good stuff in some aspects of the game. I'll go over them in a second. First, let's talk about how the game plays and how fundamentally different Resident Evil 0 is from the other Resident Evils. First major one, the game is split into two characters, Rebecca and Billy, but it's not two players. You control both of the characters while you play one and the other is AI. But you can swap between them whenever you want. I kind of like what they did with it, but I really wish the game was two players. The game would be so incredible, but the issue with that is that there's some parts of the game where you send one character to go do a task to explore, and the other would just sit there and wait for the person to let them through. The tasks and exploration take a long time, so a second player would just be sitting there for 20-30 minutes, depending if you already know the layout of the map. Secondly, the game is similar to the Resident Evil 1 remake. It has tank controls. The guns and the combat are very similar, but the aspect that differs them is there are no item boxes in the game. And to compensate for that, you have the ability to drop items on the ground, which is pretty cool. No other Resident Evil game does that, not that I know of. It's a really good mechanic. I wish every Resident Evil game had that, but can only wish. Another annoying aspect of the game is the inventory system. I know Resident Evil is all about managing your items, and that is fun, don't get me wrong, but it just feels so bad in 0. And like, because you have to manage so many items and there's no item boxes, the backtracking you'll have to do in this game, it's so annoying. It's insane. Just to drop and pick up stuff takes like 30 seconds, bro. It just feels like an inventory management simulator rather than a fun survival horror experience, in my opinion. There's so many items that take 2 item slots, which is annoying as hell. I can name 3, bro. Shotgun, hookshot, and a grenade launcher. And to be honest, all 3 of these items are essential to beating the game. Or like going through the game. Speaking of being able to beat the game, let's talk about the difficulty. I honestly think Resident Evil 0 is one of the hardest games because it has the most annoying enemies known to mankind, bro. The zombie monkeys and the leeches. These 2 enemies are so annoying, especially the zombie monkeys. They just do so much damage, and the monkeys are probably way more dangerous than straight up hunters. Like, hunters in Resident Evil 0 are like, they're not even that much of a problem. It's the zombie monkeys. Leeches aren't so bad. You just gotta hit them with fire-based ammunition and they'll die in like 3 hits. It's usually like a Molotov cocktail and you'll be fine. The AI in this game isn't too bad, but the AI will low-key waste ammo, dude. And it doesn't swap weapons on its own, and it's programmed to just keep shooting at enemies. Honestly, you're better off putting either Rebecca or Billy in a separate room while the other fights a zombie, hunter, or any enemy in the game, because it's just way more easier, in my opinion, to manage your ammo. The boss fights are kind of hard in this game. There's nothing really special about them. Honestly, they're more annoying than fun, especially that goddamn bat. But that's all I really have to say about the gameplay and difficulty. Let's move on to how the game is paced. So basically, the game starts in a train and then goes to a mansion and then later facility, like classic Resident Evil, always having a laboratory of some sort. The train section is very fun. I think is the best part of the game, but it's pretty short. After the train section, the game kind of goes downhill from there. The mansion you arrive shortly after you complete the train section is a straight up copy of the Spencer Mansion in Resident Evil 1. I don't think the mansion in Resident Evil 0 is original at all. It is not original in any shape or form. The laboratory facility is fine. It's just your average Resident Evil lab. I mean, that's really it. That's the entire game. Let's talk about the plot and the voice acting. The plot in Resident Evil 0 isn't too bad. The game is a prequel to the first installment, and it ties itself to it. You have the background prior to the Spencer Mansion incident. It's basically just goes over what Wesker Birkin, James Marcus, and what Spencer's up to, and like all the beef that they have. The Bravo team shows up like twice in the game. All we saw was like Miko at the elevator, and then he disappears again. Like, that's all he has. Billy is like an ex-Marine who did some bad shit in some mission, and now he feels really bad, and that's really it. I don't even think he has any ties to Umbrella Corp in any sort of way. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I do like Billy, but I wish he mattered to the story more, because he's never gonna return ever. I'm gonna be real with you. Not even Rebecca returns, so he's not returning. The voice acting is fine. It's a bit better than Resident Evil 1's voice acting in my opinion. Some of the dialogue between Billy and Rebecca is pretty good, but some are questionable.
Billy, I just need to know. I need to know the truth. Did you kill 23 people? I'm not going to judge you. I just want to know the truth.
Yes, I did, Rebecca, and I'm gonna kill you now. The atmosphere of the game was good in my opinion, especially in the mansion. The mansion felt a bit eerie to me, but still unoriginal to me. I didn't really like it, but it did its job, I'll tell you that. At the end of the game, the whole mansion and the facility self-destruct, and Billy and Rebecca escape and go separate paths. That's it. I was a bit unsatisfied because where the hell does Wesker and Birkin go? At least show them exiting the mansion, or else I'm gonna assume they just blew up along with it. If this game got a remake, which I hope it does, I'd rather have the game be a 2-player co-op instead of this AI switching mechanic, which is fucking annoying. If they keep the AI switching, bro, I don't think it'll be received well in today's modern gaming, but don't remove it altogether. Okay, just add the ability to play with someone else, right? Make the train a bit longer, because that was the most fun part about the game in my opinion. The train was really good. I really like the train. Thirdly, I think I prefer if the mansion was refined more, or just scrap or something new. It doesn't have to be another mansion. Add item boxes to this game. To be honest, item boxes are like staples of classic Resident Evil, and removing them just feels so out of place with the game. My final thoughts for Resident Evil 0 is that it's a 6 out of 10 game. It's not horrible, but it could be better. If you really like Resident Evil, go ahead and finish up Resident Evil 0. It's more Resident Evil anyway, so it couldn't hurt. I personally did enjoy this game, but I did feel a bit bored at times. But hey, take my words for a grain of salt, and just enjoy the game for yourself. No matter what I say, everyone can have a different experience with this game. You might like it, you might hate it, you might just be meh about it. But that's all I have today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Thank you for watching up to this point. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys.